What is up, boys and girls? Welcome to Tvet Tutorials. My name is Doc, and today I'm gonna be taking one of your requests once again. Okay, so this time around we got a request from a guy called Liu on Facebook, who actually wanted us to cover office practice, and he was actually nice enough to let us know which topics from office practice to cover. So in this video, I'm gonna be doing just that. Okay, so let's get right to it. Now, most of the time you find that companies use the reception area or the front office as the company's MA's workstation. An MA is basically a management assistant, okay? So there are a couple of requirements to take into consideration for the layout, planning, and appearance of that workstation. The first point here says, the front office or reception area plays a central role in how the business will be perceived by clients, which is true. And what this basically means is that if you walk into any business establishment, the reception area or the front office should make a statement without you having to speak to anyone. You should already have a bit of idea of what that establishment deals with. For an example, if you walk into maybe a travel agency, the reception area will make the statement that this is indeed a travel agency establishment. Or if you walk into a hospital, the front office area or the reception area will make a statement that this is a hospital. Okay, so what I mean by that is that most of the time when you walk into a hospital, for an example, let's take a hospital. If you walk into a hospital, what you will see in the reception area is charts. You will see screens that displays anything that relates to medicine or health. Okay, so this is what this statement means. The golden rule is that it must be stylish, professional, but also functional, which is also true. It would be senseless to have a reception area that is so stylish but it is not functional. Okay, so it has to take into consideration of these aspects. It has to be stylish, it has to be professional, and it needs to be functional. Okay, the front office or reception area is the first point of contact when clients walk into the establishment. Therefore, it represents and makes a statement about the business. Again, this speaks to what I just said, that when you walk into an establishment, everything that you see in the reception area is what the company is trying to communicate with you in terms of what it deals with. Okay, so office planning includes aspects such as furniture, activities, and flow of information. The MA's workstation is commonly situated in an open plan layout to improve flow of information. Again, which is another fact. It's true. If you walk into the hospital and you have a look at the reception area, most of the time it is, well, almost every time, the reception area is so open. It is in an open space, and you have your monitors or your screens, you have your charts all over, there's furniture. All those things, they are taken into consideration when you are actually designing a layout or a proper layout of your front office or the reception area. Okay, now when they talk about the flow of information, what they basically mean is that if the layout is so open and I walk into that reception area or front office area, most of the time you would find that whatever you need or whatever you wanted to inquire about is already displayed on a screen. If maybe you want to inquire about HIV, you would see charts all over the walls that talks about HIV. So that is allowing information to flow freely. Okay, now these are some of the examples of a proper front office or reception area. If you have a look at this image right here, you have the reception area over here, and it is in an open space. Again, if you have a look, there's a monitor over there. Whoops, there's a monitor over there. Let's go back. There's a monitor over there, and this is one of the ways in which you allow information to flow freely. Okay, this is another example. It's very stylish, it's professional, but at the same time it's very functional. Okay, here's another example. Again, if you have a look at the overall layout, it is stylish, it is functional. And another thing, the reception area, if you actually pay attention, the reception area or the front office is most of the time neat. It is super neat. Okay, so that also helps in painting an image about the organization or the company or the establishment. Okay, now, let us look at the requirements for office layout for both modern and traditional. The first point says the office should emphasize the image and identity of the company, i.e., send the right message to visitors. Now, if you are a visitor and you're walking into a travel agency, everything that you see in the reception area or in the front office will speak traveling, will speak tourism, everything that correlates to a travel agency company. Okay, so that is just one of the ways of making a statement, communicating with the visitors without actually physically or verbally communicating with the receptionist or the MA. Okay, the next point says various aspects such as layout, branding, materials, and colors makes a statement about the values of the company, which is true. One company that I can think of right now is Exaro Resources. When you walk into that company, the reception area, it is dominated by a green color, which actually symbolizes the company's values. Okay, so that is very important to keep into consideration of those things like the branding, the materials, and the colors. Okay, because they actually do make a statement about your company's values. Okay, another point is that while planning of space use, this should ensure that space is optimally used. Again, I'm going back to the examples that I showed you earlier on. Let's just quickly go to this one. I like this one. It is so spacious. You need to make sure that the space in the reception area is used optimally. Okay, so that is basically things that you would find in a reception area or in a front office area, is that they use the space effectively. Okay, the overall look that the company wants to display must be carefully planned: informal, modern, stylish, traditional, or creative. So again, if the company wants to go with an informal look or a modern look or a stylish look or a traditional look or creative, just like this one, which is very creative, this image right here, it is very creative. When you have a look at the overall reception area or front office space, it would make sense that if the company is trying to go with a stylish look or a creative look, it sticks to that concept. Okay, you don't want to be in a situation where maybe this area is creative, this area is formal rather, or this area is traditional or modern. You understand? So if you're gonna go with modern, try by all means to stick with the same concept throughout. Okay, and remember, this is very important. It needs to speak with the company's functions. If the company is a hospital, you cannot have charts or share information about coal mines or the travel industry and stuff like that. You understand? It has to speak with what the company's functions are. The next point is the color scheme and office theme must be coordinated. Going back to the example that I made with Exaro Resources, their primary color is green. So if you walk into the front office or the reception area of that company, it wouldn't make sense if you find that the overall color in the reception area is maybe purple or blue or brown. You understand? So it needs to be in line with the company's overall color schemes. Okay, the reception desk must be the centerpiece of the room, and this is something that you find in most companies. You walk into the reception area or the front office area, and the reception desk is literally in the middle of the entire room. It is the centerpiece. Okay, now we understand that if something is centered, we tend to pay attention to it more often. So that plays into effect also, that if you put your reception desk in the center, then people will be more likely drawn to that area. Okay, the material of the furnishings must be carefully selected. That one is straightforward. So when you pick your materials or for your furnishings, you need to be very careful about that. You don't want to use furniture that doesn't communicate with the layout of your office plan. Okay, plan the layout in such a way that visible clutter will be minimized. Try to keep the office as tidy as possible. Now, in a reception desk, what MAs or receptionists tend to do, all their equipments like stationery, like their pens, papers, they keep them in a cupboard or they keep them behind the reception desk. They don't just leave them lying around on top of the reception desk. So your reception area needs to look as tidy as possible. Okay, so you need to minimize any visible clutters. Another point is that enough room must be left to allow free movement around the reception desk. Now, other than just allowing information to flow freely, you also need to allow your visitors to move freely. So that is why you find that reception areas are in an open plan layout. Okay, add finishing touches to round off the interior and feel of the office. So if you are trying to go with a stylish look, try to add like anything that will improve the layout to be stylish or to be professional or to be modern or to be traditional or to be creative. So all those little points, they add into the overall layout of your office layout. Okay, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I will be dropping more on these topic in the next coming videos, so stay tuned. Otherwise, Bafetu, if you are watching this video and you're still new and you still haven't subscribed, please click on that subscribe button, click on that bell icon so that you get instant notifications every time we drop new content. And if you like Thabiso Leo and you have a question for us or you have a request, head on over to our Facebook, interact with us, let us know what you want us to record for you, and we'll do just that. Otherwise, Bafetu, from me and my team at Tvet Tutorials, adios.